Hi there, and welcome to Storytime. I'm your host and storyteller-in-residence, Andy Black. Today I'm going to talk about storytelling technology, the building blocks that can help you tell an effective story in different modalities: playwriting, screenwriting, digital storytelling, any kind of application which could be improved with the inclusion of a story. Today's topic is the protagonist. What's a protagonist? How is the concept useful to a storyteller? And what are 3 characteristics of a good protagonist? So let me start with some examples. Harry Potter in the Harry Potter novels and movies. Dorothy Gale in The Wizard of Oz. Walter Lee Younger in A Raisin in the Sun. Dolores Van Cartier in Sister Act. Hamlet in, well, Hamlet. A protagonist is the main character of a narrative, sometimes called the hero or heroine, the character who drives the story forward and the character the listener will identify with and root for. An effective story puts the listener into a dream state. If a story is well told, the listener will forget that he or she is listening to a story and will have an out-of-body experience. They might be at Hogwarts, in the land of Oz, in Chicago in the 1950s, hiding out in a convent in San Francisco in the 1980s, or confronting a ghost in Denmark in the Middle Ages. It would be difficult to overestimate the power of this psychological transference for the listener of the story. A story which has no clear protagonist does not fully leverage the potential value of this concept. Given its power, what are the characteristics of a good protagonist? Number 1, the protagonist must be incomplete or undeveloped in some way at the beginning of the story. He may have magical powers he's not aware of.
You're a wizard, Harry.
She may be unhappy in her life and feel that nobody understands her. He may have a goal that he fears he will never be able to realize. She may be selling out her dream. He may be mourning a personal loss.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt.
An incomplete protagonist captures the listener right away. We all know what it's like to feel incomplete or that something is missing. We can identify. Characteristic number 2, the protagonist has to want something. He or she has to want something bad. He may want to defeat he who shall not be named.
Harry Potter.
She may want to get home to Kansas.
I'm frightened, Daddy. I'm frightened.
He may want to buy a liquor store. She may want to keep from getting killed by the mob. He may want to avenge his father's death, even though he suspects it's not that great of a use of his time. We've all wanted things and weren't sure how to get them. Protagonists who want things, really want things, are interesting to us and capture our attention. Characteristic number 3, the protagonist needs to take decisive action to achieve the goal. He may have to learn to let other people help him. She may have to say goodbye to people she loves.
I think I'll miss you most of all.
He may have to give up the thing he wants in order to get something he wants even more. She may have to sacrifice herself for the good of others. He may have to give up his life to learn an important lesson. In summary, a good storyteller identifies a protagonist for the story he or she wants to tell and then makes sure the protagonist has 3 characteristics. The protagonist is incomplete or undeveloped in some way. The protagonist wants something, really wants it. The protagonist takes decisive or heroic action at the end of the story to achieve the goal. Good luck with your stories and good luck with your protagonist. And thanks for checking out Storytime.